another town, and here we were trying to convince them to come, in this case, back to Franklinton. But he was really hard at negotiating, really hard. And I think he knew that he needed to be, because he was trying to take care of his family. And we certainly respect him for that. I have had the opportunity to go over some things that a number of you here have sent in about Coach Hellen, and a number of people who aren't here, who live way off from here, have sent in. And I did write these down because I really didn't want to forget it. As a husband, we knew what he was as a husband. Just one evening, we knew who he loved. And that's real special. We do know that sometimes the coach's wives and the coach's family kind of come behind some of the X's and O's, but I know how much he cared for you. As a father to you girls, he loved those girls. He loved those girls. Words that came from other people around. Leader, we've heard that already. A great leader, not just of a football team, but a leader of people. When he came here, as Phillip said, we didn't have any of this that's out here. And he basically came to the people around and said, look, we need this, and it's going to cost this, and you need to get your checkbook out and write a check for this. And we did. So it worked, but he was a good leader. He, to me, was a very positive example, because you didn't have to worry about if he was going to do his part. He probably had to worry about if he was going to do our part sometimes, but you knew that he was going to set a positive example. He was going to be a good role model. He was going to be a hard worker. This football field really wasn't much to look at before he came, and I'm sure that Phillip Jackson had a lot to do with everything that went into it as far as seed and fertilizer and things like that. But when it got to the point to where the grass was ready, it was like, I'll take care of the grass. We're like, Buck, let us mow the grass. We mow grass. Would not have mowed it the way you wanted it mowed. So he mowed the grass. So Coach Beard, I don't know how you do it, that's the way he did it. He was a difference maker. Many of the young people who have written in things didn't say anything about X's and O's. And that was unusual, but it was pretty neat. They talked about the difference that he made in their lives. And I thought that was very special. Winter, obviously, who was on that first team when he came here? You guys raise your hand, any of you on that first team? Nobody wants to admit that? Okay. 1 and 9. Okay, you were on that team. I'm glad that someone admitted. Y'all weren't very good. You really weren't. But you got better. And that's a good thing there. But he was a winner even with that year. Because he took a group of people who really was kind of used to losing, and he made them think that they could win. We wondered, but he knew they could, and he made a difference there. Tough. Talk about the fair deal. He was tough, but at the same time, he was very fair. And that's really all you can ask of anyone. If they're going to be tough, let them be fair. Some of the girls wrote in, and this is girls who were cheerleaders, the girls who were doing this or doing that, bucking that. He was kind and caring. So there's that other side there. He was tough, he was fair, but he was kind, and he was caring, and he always seemed like he was interested in what they were doing. These things I put in, organized, the most organized human being I've ever been around in my life. And it had to be normally in that print of his. And it was a certain type of print that anyone recognized, and those playbooks that some of you are familiar with, you know what I'm talking about there. But if we were going to do anything, it was going to be well organized. He was going to be prepared. Whatever he was doing, there was no doubt that whoever was involved in that was going to be as prepared as you could possibly be. Detailed person. I think that a lot of these young people who are here today, these young people who sent in statements about Coach Hellen are good at what they're doing now because they know how detailed, how organized, and how prepared he was in his life. I think the first thing that he did when he came back here, and we needed it at that time, was he instilled pride. We didn't have a lot to be proud about as far as our facility. And year by year, you see things improve and improve and improve. That instilled pride. One of the things that was written by one of the newspaper people was that he was a true gentleman. And that is very special. Very, very special. A man of character. To me, he was probably one of the best motivators that I've ever been around in my life. Whether he was motivating a student to do better in the classroom, whether he was motivating one of these skinny football players that we had to try to gain 5 pounds somehow, or get somebody to move a little bit faster, or for us to get these stands up a little bit quicker, or whatever it was, he motivated people of all ages to do better than they thought they could do. He was a coach. It's kind of odd that's that far down the line. But again, I think he was someone who ended up teaching but coaching. I've got coach ahead of teacher, or teacher as the maybe more important of the two. To me, he taught the students, he taught the faculty, and he taught everybody who he came in touch with just how to be a better person. I don't think that anyone who was ever around him was not better off because they were. He improved the situation wherever he was if you were around him. One of my pet words is encourager. And again, from the time that he came until the time he left, I think that he encouraged everyone who he came in touch with. And I thank him for that. Juanita, the girls, we again, as Phillip says, we just appreciate the fact that y'all shared him with us. We appreciate what he meant to the school. And as we transitioned on, as he decided to go fishing and do whatever he was going to do before he coached for the Lord, we were fortunate enough to have someone like Coach Murray come in. And I think that our school has been very blessed for all these years to have the kind of continuity that we have and to have the kind of character that we have in these people. As I've looked at some of these pictures and some other thoughts, and I shared this the other night with some people, that smile that he had that was kind of like, yep, we got it. I'm going to brag on this other team, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about that, but Alan, he knew he had it, didn't he? Didn't he? Did you work harder around him than you thought you were? Okay, I just want to make sure of that. That little smile and that little twinkle in the eyes. And actually in some of these photographs, you can almost see that twinkle, especially if you knew it was there. Because it's like we have prepared, we have worked hard, and we have done the deed. Okay? I would like to stop now and again thank Johnny for starting this ball rolling, for the committee that worked so hard with him, for keeping the ball rolling, for the board here at Bowling Green for accepting this and for giving us this special day for Coach Hellen and for his family. And just in leaving, I'd just like to say that we have a little monument here, and that will be addressed a little bit later. And some of you have heard this already. But the positioning of it is a very special thing. Again, I don't know who made that decision, but I think you made the right decision. For it to be touched as our players run out on the field, or whoever goes by here, is a pretty neat thing. Because as we're touching him, he's touched so many people who are here today, and anything that we have here today has a lot to do with the fact that he was here, that he touched us. So again, we thank you guys for that time that we had together, and we wish you the very best, and we just appreciate so much what Buck meant to us. I don't think that we can differ with the fact that his nickname was Buck, and we spell differently, and we're Bucks. And it's been that way, and it's going to be that way. I don't think that's just something that just happened. Okay? Thank you very much.